how to talk to women if you have no clue how to do it. So if you're watching this video, then probably you have one of two issues. Either you're the nerdy type of guy who doesn't know how to actually talk to women because of lacking social skills, or you are one of those people who doesn't know how to sexualize a conversation and basically escalate. We're going to look at both of those, but in separate pieces, because those are different issues. So if you don't know how to talk to women, like you're the nerdy guy, then you need to learn how to express your feelings and how to express conversations fluently. So I give dating coachings to men, and the nerdy guys usually are super weird to talk to. They're quiet. They don't really respond in an engaging manner. And usually it's because they're not expressing what they're really thinking and feeling. So it's hard to make a personal connection with them because it's just, they don't talk. Okay. What you're trying to do, generally talking to people, but especially if you're talking to women, you want to make it personal. You want to say what's actually going on inside you, what you're thinking and feeling in the moment, or what's catching your attention, what's interesting to you. You don't want to fit the conversation too much to the other person, because what a lot of people do is they try to say what the other person wants to hear, but that's going to make you inauthentic and also unattractive, and people just not going to like talking to you. So if you're expressing what you really think and feel, or your real opinions, then you're going to piss some people off, but even they are going to be interested in you because you're just different than other people. Because there's a lot of people who are just pushovers. They're too nice. They're kind of inverse narcissists who try to please everybody. And if you really say what's on your mind, what you really think and feel, and what your really opinions are, then you just going to be much more attractive and interesting to talk to. So I will give you an example. When you talk, the next time you're talking to a woman, you can just be honest with her and say, hey, you know what? Recently I watched a video about how to talk to women because I'm a little bit nerdy and I don't know what I'm doing. So a lot of coaches, red pill people, whatever, maybe even women will tell you that you shouldn't show your weaknesses, that you should like portray a specific image of yourself, but this is incorrect. This will make you much more authentic and she will react with more curiosity. But you know what? I think the best things in life are self-evident. So just try it. Try being more honest and authentic about your communication and see how she responds. But you have to see that women are imperfect too. They feel insecure too. They don't feel 100% confident in any situation either. So if you're honest and expressive about that, then you bring that vulnerability into the conversation and allow them to do that as well. Okay. So in any conversation, you really want to make it as personal as you can and as individual, authentic as you can. So, for example, you had a crappy day today. So people will say, yo, don't talk about negative things. That's wrong. You can talk about negative things, but with the right lessons. So for example, you can say, I didn't hit the gym today. I really hate myself, but you know what? I'm going tomorrow. So, you're taking something negative, but you're turning it. But again, in this example, you would be honest about how your day was going, how you think and feel about it, and what your plans are in the future. So basically in communication, there's really just three parts to it. What happened to you in the past, how you think and feel about that, what happened to you what happens to you in a moment, what you think and feel about that, and in the future. And you can always just give your personal impression about those things, and you want to make that as honest and authentic as possible with as much feelings connected as possible. The more nervous you are to share something, the more you should do it. And if you follow that advice, then you should have extremely interesting conversations with women and people in general. Don't avoid offending people. The more offensive you are, the more interesting. So if you have something offensive on your mind, say it. And if you fear it, even better. Be as friendly and respectful as you can, but don't hide things from people because it could be offensive to them. Now there's guy number 2. He's socially attuned. He can talk to women for hours, but he doesn't know how to take it to the next level. And here again, it's gonna be an authenticity question, because a lot of those men are not gonna be honest about their romantic intention. they're gonna have sexual or romantic feelings for the woman and not gonna tell them. And the only thing that does is create a dishonest, manipulative basis for your communication, which you don't want to have. So you want to be honest about your intentions, that you find them hot, that you're trying to hit on them. And then, if we're talking about consent, if you're honest about your romantic and sexual intentions, then she can always decide for herself if she's willing to jump on that boat or not. So I've been ruthlessly criticized for being honest with women, usually by people who had nothing to do with the interactions, by the way. But the fact of the matter is, if you're honest, you cannot be manipulative. And if you're not manipulative, you cannot sexually harass her. Because if you're honest from the start, she can at any point decide for herself based on truth if she's willing to jump on it or not. And if she says no, then you respect that. And then there's no way you're gonna be sexually harassing her, because this is a problem that a lot of men are afraid of. They don't want to harass the woman, and I've never been charged with sexual harassment. So people told me that I was sexually harassing women, but I've never been charged with it. And the reason is because no woman ever went to the police and filed a report. And the reason is because I was always honest and genuine with them, so they could decide for themselves if they're willing to jump on the boat. And if they weren't willing, then I let them. And if you're willing to do that, then that's fine. So you can be the guy who makes the offer. You can be honest about your sexual interests, feelings, and wants, but without harassing her. And if you think about the men who are really successful women around you, they probably are unapologetic about their sexuality. They're not holding back. They're not asking you if it's okay. They just do what their impulses are. And this is something you need to learn if you're in the second category of the guy. You need to learn to follow your sexual impulses. So taking her hair like this and saying like, you're so hot, I want to fuck you right now, is something really controversial, but a lot of women love that shit. And where the boundary towards that isn't really clear, because, okay, if you can do it in the bedroom, why can't you do it on the street, right? So it's not that easy to make that distinction where it's appropriate and where it isn't. And I would say just learn to push it sexually until she says stop. And if she says stop, then you respect it. Actually, with the taking a woman by the hair and saying, I want to fuck you right now, I never did that. But for example, in a nightclub, it's a possible situation, and people will freak out now about this, but it's possible, and people who are open and not holding back about their sexuality know this. But anyway, so back to the topic, be honest about your sexual intentions, push it, and that's how you should be able to sexualize the conversation. Thank you so much for watching. If you're totally clueless with women, you can schedule a conversation with me for free in the comments. I'll be happy to see how I can help you. Other than that, follow for more.